I would like to start by saying a huge thank you. Can you show me that? Am I too loud? So a huge thank you for your passion in technology and AI, your hard work to be here on a Saturday. We really appreciate it. And we need you, I have to say. Really, we need more women, more females in this space, and I'll explain why. So today, I'm going to talk about three things. One is, I thought it would help you to share a bit of my story, because I think of myself a Turkish version of you 25 years ago. And I thought if I could share a bit of my perspective, especially from a female angle in technology, it could help you save some time and pain, I hope, on your path. And I'm very happy to say I am fortunate to be in my dream place for the last few years. Dream company, I love Microsoft, dream team, and dream job. But it wasn't a walk in the park, I have to say. So that's why I thought it's relevant to share a bit of my personal story with you. Then we will talk about AI as potential careers for you in the future, because it's exploding. I mean, it's so exciting. It's exploding in such a way that you could take any area you're interested in and make a career out of it for yourself. You could write your own job description, and I'll give you examples of my friends who've done exactly that. So it's the time to think big for yourselves, think about your dreams. And the third thing I'm going to talk about is, let's think big. So I'm the history 25 years ago, and we'll talk about today, but then I will encourage you to dream about 25 years ahead, 25 years ahead. Why? Well, it's symmetric. But more importantly, around that time, researchers in MIT especially think will be the time when general AI intelligence will be the same as an adult human being. Today, it's about the same as a 5-year-old child. So can you imagine, when you grow up, when you're working, your teams will be made up of not just women, man, technical, non-technical people, but actually machines that are equally competent, equally intelligent as you. How will that work? It will be quite interesting. There's nothing to be scared of, in my humble opinion, but we need to embrace the opportunity with big thinking. Okay? Does that make sense? And by the way, I looked at your responses to the surveys that my friends at Acorn sent to you. I'm just so excited to be here. I genuinely feel we should deliver our best, because you said you're interested in law, you're interested in computer science, you want to make the world a much better place, and we are so proud of you. Keep doing that. Think big and go for it. Okay. So, about my path, I'll talk a bit about my high school years, okay? Then my university years, and then we'll fast forward to my career. So, as I said, I feel I'm just a Turkish version of you 25 years ago. And I come from a family of engineers, mathematicians, and entrepreneurs. So I don't think it was a coincidence I ended up in technology. Yes. And I'll say there was domestic violence in my family. So that was my first experience in turning a negative experience into a positive motivator for myself. So as much as I love my parents, I knew that I couldn't stay in that environment. And I came up with a dream for myself. And that dream was to go to the US and study electrical engineering. That was my dream. But then, as you can imagine, I had two constraints. One was money. It cost about $45,000 a year to study in the States. And I think at the time, my family's total income was like $25,000. And the second constraint was I was pretty sure my parents, especially my father, wouldn't allow me to go to the US. So what did I do? Yes. I applied secretly. So I applied secretly, I got in, I got financial aid scholarships, and then I was at the stage of choosing dormitories when I finally told my parents that this is the plan. And at that stage, of course, they couldn't say no. I mean, that would be just too much. So off I went to Philadelphia, to University of Pennsylvania to study electrical engineering. And since it was a lot of work and a lot of money, I thought, okay, I'm going to make the most of this education, so let's add strategic management as well. So I studied what's called Management of Technology dual degree program, engineering and management, which was fantastic because that's exactly what I do today. Technologies kept changing, but I am doing both, and I absolutely love it. I was so happy I studied that. There was another important thing about the university experience. For the first time, I felt how it is to be a woman in technology. Because I was one of 5 female students in a class of 180. And that ratio pretty much continued in my career. So still, there are very few women in technology. In school, this was not a big deal at all. There was no discrimination, no inequality, not getting paid less, or given the worst projects, or the housework of office. All of that came in during my career. So let's forward. My career, I graduated from school, I joined a management consulting firm in Boston, and always focusing on disruptive technologies and technology clients, which was fantastic. I loved my job so much. I worked so hard. I burned myself out in the first year. And I said, at the same time, my parents finally decided to get a divorce, which was honestly welcome news for everyone. But I felt, okay, let me go back to Istanbul, to Turkey, so that I can help my mother, who had given up her career for us, so that I can help her settle her new life. She was so rusted, she couldn't even pay the bills. I mean, she was just a rusted housewife at that stage. So I wanted to help her heal, and I also wanted to heal myself from my burnout, because I was really exhausted. So I went back to Turkey, by the way, at the time, everybody was criticizing me, and this might happen to you as well, that's why I'm sharing. Everybody like, are you crazy? My family, my teachers, my friends, like, why are you going back? You just started an amazing career. You're giving up on a huge opportunity. And I just listened to my inner voice. At that time, I thought that was what was right for me, to go back to Istanbul. And I can tell you, that was absolutely the best decision. It turned out to be the best thing for me, professionally and personally. Looking back, I'm able to say that, which was good. So anyhow, I went back. In the first 4 or 5 months, I had 4 near-death experiences. 2 major earthquakes, 42,000 people died in one, 12,000 people died in the second one, 2 terrorist bomb attacks, and funnily enough, each of them were 5 buildings away from where I worked and where I lived. So I saw body parts on the ground. And at the time, I wasn't afraid of death, but I can tell you, I walked away with 2 very concrete things in my mind and heart. One was, I was absolutely going to do the best of my life, every day, every hour, every minute. And secondly, I would be my best self, whatever I choose to do. As a student, as a sister, as a daughter, whatever. So those 2 things meant whatever negative experiences I faced on the way, I had to turn them into positive things, into an advantage, a benefit for me, almost like a springboard to land in an even better place. Because we all have negative experiences. I'm not special. I mean, when I share these personal experiences with you, I share it comfortably because I know each one of you have similar things. Some have drunk parents, others have psychopath mothers. I mean, we all have our own share of challenges. And if you don't enjoy it while it lasts, but you will get them. It's not a matter of if or when. So, in my career, let's go back to the career, I've experienced all these negative things. I mean, they just pop up. You have psychopath managers, I've had sexual harassment, I've had, inequality, weird experiences, and they come up, and I genuinely think they made me stronger. That's why I'm here today. But I always use those opportunities as, okay, this is not fun. I'm going through a storm right now, but how can I actually use this so I get to an even better place? And I always think of that with the lotus flower image on my mind. Has anyone seen a real lotus flower? It's gorgeous, isn't it? It's just one of the most gorgeous flowers you can see, and yet it grows in the most disgusting, muddiest, smelliest waters. So think of that. I'm just suggesting you, but I always think of that lotus flower when I face a challenge, an obstacle, a difficult person, whatever. I just, okay, how can I create a lotus flower out of this? And that way, I just kind of grew quite a few lotus flowers. But enough about me. That's what I wanted to share. And I would like you to walk away from this weekend with 3 things. One is a big dream or many dreams. Think 2040. Not, 2 years from now, 10 years from now, 25 years. What's your big dream? What will excite you? What excites you right now? The second thing is a leap. A leap is a small learning experience that is doable. Let's say I want to write a book, but it's such a big thing for me. I start with a blog. It's doable within 2 weeks or so. We call that a leap. And this weekend, I think, is a fantastic leap for all of you. You'll learn to collaborate, you'll learn about technology, you'll solve problems, you'll design things. It's a very tangible leap. So second thing is a leap towards your dream. And the third thing is that mindset. Just remember the lotus flower. You will face challenges. You'll be maybe frustrated this weekend. Just try, okay, what's the positive thing in this? Okay? So, let's talk about AI right now. And so, please think of these as potential career paths for you, because that's what they are. They are exploding right now. I mean, seriously exploding. Our team, I'm in the engineering AI team within Microsoft. Our team produces Microsoft's AI solutions, and we are growing like we can't hire enough. It's just a fabulous place to be in. And I started off my career with business AI, so I'll talk about that naturally. And then we'll talk about AI for accessibility, inclusive AI. Then we launched something fantastic last month in September. AI for good, AI for humanitarian action. We'll touch on that. And then there's AI for Earth or sustainability. If you're interested in biology, life sciences, it's an amazing space to be in. And then I'll skip ethics and AI. My wonderful friend and colleague Kate will expand on it in the afternoon because it's super important. But I have to say one thing, just a short story about how these careers pop up. I have a friend who went to a small, unknown, very small school in Turkey. and about, I think, 10, 15 years ago, I'm not sure. And she was passionate about AI and ethics. So she studied that. And then that was very, I'm sure some people made fun of her at that age. Who would have thought AI and ethics would become so important right now? And then she went on to study PhD at Harvard. And guess what happened? Microsoft Research snatched her even when she was studying. And now she's one of the probably top 5 or 10 AI ethics experts in the world. She's advising our CEO, Satya Nadella, on AI and ethics. Which AI products should Microsoft launch? Which weird government contracts we should reject? Because trust me, we get some very strange proposals from some governments for AI projects. Are those ethical to accept? Are those unethical? You know, she assesses that. And she sits on a board called AI Ethics Committee of Microsoft, which is super important, independent of any product or business group in Microsoft. They report directly to our CEO, which should be the case. So I'm just saying that as an example because I'm sure some people thought, this is strange, I mean AI and ethics. But she had the vision. So think big, that's all I'm suggesting. And then I'll share some resources for learning if you love this space, because as I said, I'm in the engineering team and even I can't keep up with the technology. So I try to stay fresh myself, and I'll just share my favorite resources with you. How are we doing on time, by the way? Who's the boss? Are we okay? Okay, so I'll share how Microsoft sees the world, but I'm pretty sure this is about the same for any big company in AI space, so I hope it will be useful for you still. So, we just don't think about just AI. We think holistically, comprehensively, and mixed reality and quantum computing are super important to complement AI. So, to give you an idea, the first supercomputer had 13,000 transistors. Today, Xbox One X has 7 billion transistors. Do you know what transistors are, by the way? Yeah, they make computers tick. So, you can imagine the computing power that we have today, which is fantastic. And we've already come a very long way in mixed reality and AI, like in manufacturing, in education, you know, Minecraft. So, we are super proud. However, there are some unsolved problems, big, juicy unsolved problems, like in health, cancer, energy, sustainability. And it's these unsolved computational problems that triggered us to build the first quantum computer 10 years ago. What's a quantum computer? It's able to solve what a classic computer, a normal computer, would be able to solve in billions of years in a matter of hours. It's like mind-blowing. And we, as Microsoft, said, okay, it's good achievement, scientific milestone, but we want to scale this. We want many quantum computers, and we want many users for quantum computing. So what did we do? We launched a full-stack quantum computing solution last year. So developers can download the preview and start simulating. Like I could use this as a quantum computer within my Azure, Microsoft Visual Studio, and start building for quantum computing solutions or apps. Okay, so why I'm mentioning it is super important because you might be excited. You might choose your path over there too. Don't think just AI. And if you're, many of you, it looked like 2/3 of you are considering computer science. Super, keep up, don't give up, just go there. And of course, think about quantum computing and mixed reality. But today, this weekend, we focus on AI. Okay? And in AI, I'm not saying this as a salesperson. Honestly, Microsoft is one of the best, if not the best, because we hold the top leadership positions for speech recognition, object recognition, reading and comprehension, translation. All of these are amazing tools for AI. It's like our five senses. And when you get to be the best in all those components, you're able to build good business AI solutions, which brings me to my next session. Okay. So business AI or enterprise AI, it means is AI solutions for companies. And this is where I work right now. And I'm going to share just a few examples. We have plenty. When we say business AI solutions, these are truly successful, like money generating or productivity increasing solutions. They are real. As of now, big companies use them, including Microsoft, of course. So first example, our chief financial officer is an amazing lady called Amy Hood, and she uses our AI forecasting tool to forecast Microsoft sales. Okay? So we have 48,000 salespeople who forecast how much they are going to sell every month or every quarter, and they come up with a forecast. The AI solution beats that. And our CFO has been using it for 15 or 16 quarters in a row, basically 4 years, almost 4 years. It's amazing because that forecasting is one of the most boring things you could do with your life. Maybe people won't have to do that anymore because it's more accurate. In the meantime, let me tell you about two other important AI examples, the accessibility examples that I was going to mention after the video. One is we also have a tool within Microsoft OneNote. Do you know what OneNote is? It's taking notes stuff. So within that, there is something called learning tools for dyslexic people. My son has dyslexia, so he loves. Basically, it's much easier to have the text color coded, enlarged, or have the voiceover. So there is that, because it has AI enabled in the tool. Another example that we have is a combination of Microsoft's Translator tool helps deaf students learning class. So when the teachers are talking about their lectures, they have that translator tool so the deaf students can follow the class. Fascinating. And seeing AI, I mean, it's okay if it's not working. Is it working? There's no sound. It should at least work from the PC.
Something to do with the sound card settings.
That's okay. That's fine. I can send the links if you're interested. The point is, and you can look at it on my phone because it will show you. Okay, here's a girl around 15 years old, whatever, and it talks to you. It can read text. It can understand currencies. It's super impressive. So that's what we do on the AI for accessibility side, and this was.
I can bring my laptop and you can play the language on my laptop.
Don't worry, that's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, my objective here is think of these as fascinating areas. I mean, if you're passionate about disabilities or this is the thing, and unfortunately you won't be able to see the humanitarian actions, but well, maybe let's try. As I said last month in September, we launched AI for Good team. So we have some amazing team members who will be working with especially emerging countries in the world to help with how to save refugees or how to save people in earthquakes or other catastrophes, basically. So it's fantastic. If you're passionate about this space, just keep an eye out. Because, I mean, it's just growing. These are just embryonic stages. Same thing with AI for Earth. Absolutely phenomenal. This video is about how to help farmers increase yield with their crops, reduce costs, and increase productivity. So, and the results are absolutely phenomenal. And you're talking about tons of crops increase and tons of millions of dollars of increase in revenue for these farmers, which are of course very important. So when people talk about, oh, AI will kill jobs, yes, of course some jobs will be killed. I mean, no doubt. Just like when internet came about, many jobs went away. But new jobs, much more interesting, meaningful, creative jobs came along. So thank you once again for believing in that. As I said, I'm going to skip ethics. Let's go through the learning bits. I can share the slides if you're interested, or you're welcome to take a picture. But these are some of the fantastic tools that we have free of charge. AI Lab is an open source coding laboratory. So you can learn from other coders, put your own code there, look at what people did with their apps, and just play around. It's a lab. It's just an open public source. AI School has amazing online courses, so you can continue in your own time. And then it's a bit early for you, but I would, if you're interested, I would keep an eye out on Microsoft Research. We have a fantastic institution in Cambridge, and they have internships. And they sometimes need people your age as well, because they have some amazing projects where they need that perspective. And then I keep an eye out on our AI blog and Microsoft Research blog literally every day. Just like I check the news, I check that place as well, because they always have something amazing. Okay. And okay, so back to you. Please, I'll just repeat if I may. Please think big. Think about your dreams, not just one even. What are you going to do? And how are you going to make the most of this weekend so it becomes a tangible step towards your dream? And really have that mindset of the lotus flower, because we all, I mean, especially as females, we will be facing some challenges. So I love this quote from Susan May. Your life is an occasion. Rise to it. Thank you so much.